Instant line of credit for gig workers. Sounds like a magic spell, right? Like you whisper DoorDash, show a screenshot of your earnings, and a bank cannon fires money at your face. Here's the truth. Sometimes it's legit, and sometimes it's marketing glitter glued to a high-interest trap. In this video, I'll break down the truth versus the hype around an instant line of credit for gig workers. What instant really means, what documents you'll need, timelines, and how to avoid getting played. Because if you're driving, delivering, freelancing, flipping, or juggling 3 apps in a dream, you don't need motivational quotes. You need options that don't wreck your cash flow. Let's start with the word that causes the most confusion: instant. When a lender says instant, they usually mean one of 3 things: instant decision, instant access after approval, or instant cash, like money today. 1. Instant decision. 2. Instant access after approval. 3. Instant cash. Those are 3 very different animals. An instant decision can give you an approval response in minutes based on what you enter and electronic verification. Instant access after approval means they'll open the credit line fast, but you still must link a bank account, verify identity, and sometimes wait for funds to settle. Instant cash is the boldest claim and the most suspicious. Today can quietly turn into 2 to 5 business days once you hit the fine print. So what is an instant line of credit for gig workers really? In plain English, it's a revolving credit limit you can draw, repay, and draw again. It works like a credit card, but sometimes is structured as a business line of credit, a personal credit line, or a fintech cash flow product. Now here's the big split that determines whether this is a smart tool or a financial pothole. There are 2 buckets. Bucket 1, real lines of credit. Bucket 2, credit-like products that behave like loans, cash advances, or fee-based financing. Real lines usually have clearer terms, predictable costs, and less chaos. Credit-like products are where the hype lives. You'll see words like instant, no credit check, guaranteed approval, funds in minutes, and based on your earnings. Sometimes useful, but often carry aggressive fees. They often include daily or weekly repayment and terms that can feel like a cash flow hostage situation if your income dips. How do you know which one you're looking at? Use the quick truth versus hype checklist. If the offer emphasizes no credit check and instant cash, you're probably looking at a product that prices risk through fees and fast repayment. If it emphasizes APR, credit limit, draw period, and repayment terms, it's likely traditional. Neither is automatically evil, but they're not the same. Pretending they are is how people get blindsided. Now, let's talk about the realities. Timelines and documents. Even fast options need to verify who you are, and that income isn't imaginary. The typical document checklist: first, identity verification, government ID, sometimes a selfie, basic personal info. Second, income verification, bank statements, platform earnings summaries, or direct account connections. Third, bank account connection. Most instant products require linking your bank to verify cash flow, manage deposits, and pull repayments. Fourth, basic expenses and obligations: rent, debt, business costs. So what timeline should you realistically expect? A true fast decision with clean data might give you a decision in minutes. Manual review, irregular income, or messy statements can take 1 to 3 days. Funding can be same day sometimes, but more commonly 1 to 3 business days depending on provider, your bank, and the method they use to send funds. When you hear instant, think fast if everything goes smoothly. Now the part nobody wants to say out loud: qualification realities. An instant line of credit for gig workers isn't guaranteed just because you work hard. Lenders are spreadsheets with a logo, not therapists. They look at average monthly deposits, income consistency, bank balance behavior, zero versus buffers, existing debt and payment history, and sometimes your credit profile, even if they claim it isn't the main factor. If income is strong and consistent, odds improve. If it's wild and unpredictable, you may still qualify, but the price goes up and repayment gets tighter. This leads to the biggest hype trap, the cost. Many assume a line of credit is cheap money. Not always. Some charge interest, flat fees, subscription fees, or factor rates, a confusing pricing system. Others impose daily or weekly payments that can crush you. The simple rule: if you can't clearly explain how the cost is calculated, don't touch it until you can. If the lender can't explain it clearly, that's not your confusion. That's their business model. Strategy time. How to use a line of credit without turning it into a curse. Use credit to cover short-term gaps and finance things that increase earning power. Vehicle maintenance, tools, equipment, inventory. The wrong way is using it to patch a monthly lifestyle gap with no plan to improve income. That leads to paying tomorrow's money to survive today, and the cycle gets ugly. Before you apply, ask, what problem am I solving? If you don't have that answer, the lender will still happily take your signature. Let's land the plane. An instant line of credit can be real, useful, even a lifeline. But instant is a marketing word, not a guarantee. Your timeline depends on verification, your documents on the provider, and your cost on how they price risk. Often more expensive when income is unpredictable. Want to see what you actually qualify for? Use the pre-qualification option. Pre-qualify in 5 minutes. Get real offers, real terms, and a realistic timeline. So you're making a decision with your eyes open. If you're ready, pre-qualify now. And if you want more videos like this, no hype, no sugarcoating, subscribe, because I'll keep breaking down what's real, what's marketing, and how to play the game without letting the game play you.